have Thomas William, who's been quite a long-term patient, outpatient in the intro cage. He was very underweight, and he's been in here quite a while so we can monitor him. He's definitely been in here for a few months. He's had a new course of deworming, and he's looking better and eating well, so today's the day we're going to let him back out, back into the enclosure with the troop, and hopefully all goes well. We've waited till they've had food, just in case it starts any fights, so I'm just going to go ahead and release him. Get away from the door, you. She wants back in.
Wait. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, wide.
Oh no.
Anti-climax.
How do we pause?
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, you can pause actually.
Ready.
Oh. Go away. Sorry. Let's just go start swearing at the monkey. No.
So each integration has got its own little quirks. Male integrations are probably one of the easier integrations to do, especially if they've met the troop before, because they sort of do know their place. The only time you've really got a problem is if you've had to take out a higher ranking male for one or other reasons and then bring him back, because he would have definitely have lost ranking in the meantime. But the males seem to know how to behave, and when to go out and when not to go out. As you can see in this point, Thomas William here didn't just choose to run out. He's held back because he sees everybody hanging around the door, so he's only going to go out when he feels safe, and they just seem to know when the right time is to do that, and their behaviors, because they have to change troops.
Is already open. Thomas, you gotta be quicker, my boy. Come on. Holy moly. You want out or not? As far as you want out at this point. What?
Whether or not he knew there was going to be an argument brewing, who knows? But it seemed like a good thing that he held back there.
He's eating. Oh no, that's the other one. Come on, Tommy. Yeah.
Here, have a raisin. Thomas for a tweedle.
And there they go.
This is Thomas William. He's been a while since he's been in the troop, so he's going to be a bit uneasy for a while. But so far the big males are leaving him alone, and as you can see, he's just walking around by himself, getting reaccustomed to his troop. I say it's been a while for males his age. Once they're sub-adults, adults, they can't lose rank when they're out of the troop for this long. and there can be some issues with almost having to be kind of reintegrated into the troop. But it all seems to be absolutely fine. As he's having no issues, the troop not even taking much notice. Oh, he seems a little nervous. So here's Thomas William in the middle. Has begun to settle down much more. Still having a little adventure around and finding his bearings again, but no longer pacing. He's just walking around.
So the introduction all seemed to go very well. Our biggest fear is in the evening because males seem to fight at night, so we just got to make sure he's okay through the night and the following day.
Simon and I have just come to pick up a tiny little baby in Letsiteli. Not quite sure what's happened to them, but a very kind member of the public has called us. We are going to go straight back to the VMF. This baby is really not very well. Very shallow breathing, limbs are very stiff. He is about Idris's age, so about a year to 18 months. We're going to do what we can.
So we're not really too sure what happened. Yeah, I had a call from a lady just telling me that this monkey seemed to have fallen between a fence and a wall. We don't know actually what happened. So we're just going to give a quick once over, which is very necessary, just to see if we can find out any wounds or if there's anything serious at the moment before we make a decision on what really needs to happen. There was some blood and stuff coming out of the one ear. The baby seems to be not moving at all, or should I say juvenile, which is also strange. We always suspect pellet wounds from these little ones because being in the back of a person's yard, but at the moment we can't confirm that at all. It seems very, very dehydrated. You can see here in the video, eyes are starting to swell up, not moving very well. So at the moment we just want to check that there's nothing broken, no holes or injuries that we can see, and then we'll make a decision from there.
Open this, please. You're very sick. Got an old wound there.
We have some kind of wound here.
Okay,
It's bleeding out of the ear. Can't feel any wounds here, the back.
So it's definitely got some kind of head trauma. At the moment it doesn't look like pellets or air rifle. The next most important step is really to get them rehydrated in fluids as quickly as we can. Just to make sure, because this little one, we don't know when last it's had something to drink or how long it's actually been lying there between the fence and the wall. So we're just going to give some fluids, and after that, because we've contacted the vet already, we're going to made this decision to take the little one through there just to see if we can get an x-ray done to find out how serious things are. In normal circumstances, we'd wait for 24 hours. It's normally the recommended time period, just to see if you can stabilize the little one, and if they do survive the 24-hour period, you've got a better chance of really helping them to survive. So just cleaning up the little mouth and things like this. For some reason it's full of dirt, just to make him a little bit more comfortable and feel a little bit better before we start the journey to the vets, because unfortunately it is a Sunday. So we've had to do a special call out for the vet just to come down. But to know how to treat this little one is essential. And without the x-ray, we can't really make any further decisions, because we don't really know what kind of trauma we're actually dealing with at the moment.
We have no swallow. We're just gonna, there we go, let it come out.
Okay.
Okay, baby, come on.
Good boy.
Let's go.
This is the latest rescue. We are just on the way to the vet. Becky is driving. We suspect head trauma.
Hold. Sorry.
So definitely some serious head trauma. From what I can make out, I think this little one somehow been hit by a car and managed to drag itself to the people's property, and of course wasn't strong enough and therefore fell out of the tree in between the fence line, and that's where fortunately they found him.
Little rescue boy is now back from the vet. He has several fractures in his head and potentially another fracture in his neck. So he's now on watch, and we are caring for him for the next 24 hours, which are crucial to see how it will go from there. He is on a drip.
Just with the new little guy. He's on a drip at the moment. Not much change. We have flipped him over. It's good to give him some movement so we can move anything on the lungs, any fluid or any mucus or anything. So he's just been flipped, being careful of his neck, and he's just at the moment getting meds every hour, pain relief and some stuff to help him with his nerves and any damage. Just with the newly named Rexy, and he's decided to show us his other eye today. So his right eye is quite puffy, as you can see. That's probably from the head trauma. So it's quite swollen, but he has been able to open and close it. We are keeping it moist when it is open. And this left eye was a little swollen yesterday and puffy, but today that's gone down, and he's decided to open it and show us his pretty eyes. Hello, baby boy. He's doing really well this morning. We have a swallow reflex, which is absolutely incredible, considering he has a fractured jaw. So at the moment he can only have liquids, and he will probably only have liquids for a very long time. But he loves his juice, so we've been able to also start some new meds with him. Michaela, how is Rexy?
Better than last night. So yesterday, the whole day he was doing pretty well, drinking well, and then about 6 p.m. he started seizuring, and then we couldn't give the rest of the meds, but he is doing a lot better this morning, swallowing well. He's going to try milk for the first time, half strength, so hopefully he likes that. He's been liking juice and sometimes very high, but yeah, so good.
Good. Michaela's been here quite a long time actually. She was here all day yesterday and she's done a really good job with him. So now she's going to try give him some milk. The milk will be really good for him because obviously with his broken and fractured jaw and mouth he cannot eat, nor would it be safe at the moment, especially with the seizures. So the milk is a really good source of protein and nutrition and should hopefully prevent any more seizures actually if he drinks enough and gets enough of that good nutrition in. So Michaela's going to give him a go now. Let's see what happens. So she's just using the miracle teat because his mouth doesn't open that much, and she's looking for a definite swallow. Yay! So normally we wouldn't feed any baby or any animal like this. We want them to be upright, just in case they don't swallow. We don't want it to go into their lungs, but for Rexy we have to be really careful of his neck, and we have to keep him laid flat like this. So Michaela is being very careful to make sure he does have a swallow and none of it is going down his windpipe or is pooling in his mouth. There is also a little gauze there. It's safe enough to, while he's in this position, to drop it through his mouth and he'll either swallow or it will come back out. We don't want him to wear the milk, that's why he's got that gauze. Just brought Rexy outside for a little bit of vitamin D. His eyes open and he's been, not sure if he's looking around, but it's definitely active. So I hope he's enjoying it. A little bit of fresh air, a little bit of vitamin D. He's in the shade. He's not going to get too hot. He also has a little blanket because it's not the warmest day today. So I don't want him to get too cold. But yeah, just enjoying a bit of sun on Director Josie's porch. There's Zach's play area, and there's Rocky the dog enjoying his vitamin D.
So we've got little Rexy between two boards to try and keep him as stable as possible. We've also modified, this is like one of these things to do hair braids, just to support the neck, to make sure he doesn't jar his neck too much, because he has got a fracture on the neck that we are still worried about. We've got to give it about 3 weeks before we get some more x-rays done, just to see if he's healing. Fortunately, because he's so young, there's a good chance that everything should join and heal up properly. We just got to hope the trauma on his brain wasn't too much, and we're still hoping there's a good chance that this little one starts pulling through and making a good recovery. But it's still very much touch and go at the moment, and we just got to see how things go from now.
This is little Rexy. We are in the garden at the moment. We are in the shade, so he doesn't get the direct sun because that's very strong, and we don't want him to get too warm neither. So we are doing it softer, and he's in the shade. It's really good for him. He gets some fresh air as well. Having the noises of nature outside, that's really good for him as well, and he's really enjoying it.
So there is Kobe, the object of this trapping expedition. He is so close to the intercage door, but so is the entire dominant group. There's Turk, and then we have Bob's in the tree, and Maggie in the tree, and an Isa Maria or a Helea, and then some other monkeys. And there's Kobe. And then in front of the entry cage door is Crumpet, who you can see to the far right of the screen, and Precious, who is not so precious when you need to not be in front of the entry cage door because you need to trap a monkey. Oh, there's Fiona making her way downtown, walking fast. Well, she sat down. She sat down now. Doesn't want to complete the song. So, yay! So, those of you who might remember, we tried trapping Kobe this morning. Camilla was having a bit of a tough time with it, but she got him! So, Solly is just pulling Kobe out of the intro cage now. So, first of all, Camilla had to trap him in the intro cage, and then she had to trap him in one of our crush cages. This is one of our transport cages. And it means he can go to the vet. Solly is now just going to take Kobe down to sickbay, and he will hopefully go to the vet tomorrow. We're going to have a look at his growth. He has a growth on his right left side of his rib cage. So we're going to go get that looked at the vets tomorrow. So this is Kobe. He is from D&D and he has been in sick bay for a week now because he had a sinus tract which was removed. He had all of the tissue removed, as you can see, hopefully. Yep, there we go. So it's healing really, really nicely. So he had all of the tissue removed, so this won't happen again. So yeah, he's just been in this IC for a little bit and he's just recovering. So now that he's well enough, we're gonna release him back into the troop. And he's very eager to get back in because he does miss everyone. So yeah, this is just Kobe in his IC. So Kobe is a 6-year-old male and he's very fluffy. That is how we mainly identify Kobe. He is the fluffiest male in D&D.
Well, of course, before he can go out, we have to make sure we release the intro cage door. All the doors are secured so that monkeys can't just push them open. They're not just tied with the strings, as they are quite clever and can work their way how to open these doors if they're not wired shut completely. So after he goes out, the same thing will actually happen again. We'll have to secure the door just to make sure nobody can come in and out. So of course they quickly nipped out before anybody could actually get the cameras to focus. So sorry on that little bit of a blurry image there, but he's run straight out into the middle of the enclosure, and in the next section here you'll hear them vocalizing and talking to everyone else, letting him know that he's actually there.
He's just in the back in the middle of those trees there and he's vocalizing quite a lot.
Well, that's just Kobe just letting everybody know he's back in the enclosure, and just letting those that are lower ranked to be careful, and of course greeting those that are higher ranked.
So everyone is happy to have him back. This is Barney. He's 4 years old and he's the only male in the troop that is that size. So he's quite easy to tell. So yeah, all seems well in the troop. Everyone's happy to have Kobe back and he's very happy to be back here as well. So we have Kobe and Mamba.
Mamba in this scenario will be more dominant than Kobe. You can just see the stance and the display that's getting put up, and of course he's just welcoming him back into the enclosure in his own special way. But yeah, the males, they've always got to make sure everybody knows whose position is who, especially if one has just left and come back, and they just assert their authority just to make sure everybody remembers.
So this is Kobe at D&D and something has alerted all other monkeys. So he's just sitting in the tree there. There's Stitch. And then Honey Bear all the way in the back, who's also come to see what it is. And there's Kobe. Oh, Oh, and he's coming all the way over to say hello. So we have Kobe, and he's out in the troop, and you can see he's doing very well. So he is currently sitting with Isa Maria on his right and Emmy on his left. There's Boogie. Sitting next to Tom Tom. It's really hot today. Gonna reach about 37, I think. So the monkeys are just trying to find some shade. And there's his buddy Felix. Ricky's just in front. She's always trying to steal the camera. Loves anything human orientated because she was a ex-pet, kept illegally for 1 year. Here's all three: Josh at the top on the left, Spirit on the right, and Ricky Joe just below them. From the previous season before Boogie and Felix. Felix has just come up at main feed time. There's Mitch in front. Ooh, big fight going on. Hoping nobody takes my camera. There's Michael. Michael on the right there. Helen just walking in the background. A lot of chasing going on. Feeding time. You can see today they've got a mix of spinach, papaya, cabbage, bananas, and possibly butternut. I see little Felix is just coming over again. There he is. Foster mum Poppy. And there's Helen come to join them. Has just joined the group, although Poppy is trying to keep her away by raising her eyebrows, and then Felix is just joining again. So it's really interesting to watch the group dynamics at feeding time. You can see who displaces who, so who moves into the position of that monkey and who moves away. If one moves away, usually they're considered lower ranking than the one that they've displaced. So if Eva was to take position of Poppy now and Poppy moves away, usually that would indicate that Poppy could be lower ranked. Not always, but a lot of the time that's the case.
So it's a very stressful time in the enclosure, especially with the males trying to sort themselves out, who's the biggest and bravest. So there's a lot of fighting and chasing around at this time of year, because we're in the height of, or actually coming to the end of mating season, to be honest with you. But there's still a lot of dominance going on between the males trying to sort themselves out.
Felix returned. Felix really loves the swimming pools, and Poppy's usually close by, ready to take him if there's anything dangerous about to happen, or if she's concerned.
Well, I hope you're enjoying these little updates that we're having at the moment while we end season 6. The new season will be starting soon, but it is always good to see how the integrations go with some of the adult males. And of course, we're in that period where we're starting to get injuries coming. All our care is going into little Rexy at the moment. Is the most serious one who's just come in so far. And we're trying to do everything that we can to try and bring this little one back around again. So just watch out for the next episode, how things are going. And then our other 2 little ones, hopefully we're going to do a release soon and take one back to its mom. So keep your eye out on the channel. Thank you everybody for watching, for participating, for being there when we need you. It's really helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next week.